What is going on, guys? It's Reflex here, and it seems like we have a winner. Now, since I do not have millions of subscribers or even millions of Twitter followers, the results of that poll is not really going to fluctuate any longer. Maybe like a 1% difference here and there, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to stay the winner that it is because of how large of a margin it actually is. And in fact, let me go look, because someone, I'm not going to mention any names, but I got DM'd randomly, and someone said, "You don't really do live commentaries, you're a liar. You know, anyone can fake a live commentary." And I'm just looking, like, I was looking at the comment, well, the DM, and I was like, well, that's an interesting thing that I don't think I need to prove, but regardless, we're proving it now. But right now, I'm scrolling through Twitter. Okay, let me go to my profile. Alright, which game should be next? The next game that I play for Let's Play. And Dark Souls is at 53%. The Last of Us is at 26%. Final Fantasy Comrades made it to 5%. You go right there. I thought it was gonna be stuck at 0. I'm not even gonna lie. But Bloodborne dropped to 16%. It was keeping up there. It was actually inching its way past The Last of Us and getting to Dark Souls, but no. So it looks like Dark Souls is the clear-cut winner. But if somehow, some way, The Last of Us overtakes that in the next 7 days, well, then we'll go to The Last of Us. But Dark Souls is honestly a good game, and I'm looking forward to playing that for a Let's Play. It's been, I would say, about a maybe 2-3 year, like 3 year just break of not playing Dark Souls. Now, I played Dark Souls 3, but I'm talking about the first one, and many Dark Souls player knows that the first one and the third one, there's a lot of differences, and not in like, every Dark Souls veteran knows the mentality and how to exactly play Dark Souls, but the mechanics in Dark Souls 3 is tons different than Dark Souls 1, so I'm going to be in for a little bit of a learning curve when I first start playing it, but regardless, it should be fun. I'm excited to play it. I'm actually excited to get back into it. I made sure to see if I could show off my old save file. It's not there because I'm playing the backwards compatible version, and sadly, my old, I don't even remember what I called it, but my old account, well, my old player that I created is not there anymore. And he was level, I think, like 564 with over 1,000 hours on it. I no-lifed that game when it first came out. And think about when Dark Souls first came out. A little story about Dark Souls, and I've been waiting to make this video. But how it started with Dark Souls is, I originally went to Family Video. You see, kids, that's a place where you rent games. It ain't no GameFly, or it ain't no actually buying shit. When I was a kid and I really was kind of picky on what I played, I rented games, for a couple days or 5 days, and if it was really fun, then I would actually go buy it. But how it was is, I originally went to Family Video for Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I think it was 2. And I got it, took it to the counter, and they put the game in. I'm not one that checks. I should have, but it's a blessing in disguise. But I did not check, got home, opened it up, and I saw Dark Souls, and I was thinking in my head, what the fuck is this? And I was a little bit heated because I didn't want Dark Souls, obviously. I went there for a specific game, didn't get it, so I was mad, but I wasn't going to just tell my mom, because it was already late, so I wasn't going to tell her, hey, can you go back and let's get a different one? I wasn't going to do that to her, so instead I put the game in, and, well, it started up. And I was extra confused. I didn't know. I knew what I was getting into with the Star Wars game. Since this was a brand new game I've never played, I did not know what I was getting into. And this was when it first came out, too. This was like, I think 2 days after it released. And I started playing it. And I got stuck on the first boss. Because I was still, well, I wasn't little, but my brain wasn't in Dark Souls mentality yet. So I was struggling a little bit. But after I got past the Asylum Demon, and I got past a whole bunch of other bosses and started getting into it, I was a fast learner when it came to Dark Souls. So when I actually got past some stuff, people did not talk to me for like a month because I disappeared. I would not join parties because that was the thing. The first Dark Souls on the Xbox 360, you could not be in party chat when that game was there. Or I think you'd just play offline or something. But you couldn't, if you wanted to play online and summon people, you would have to play pretty much by yourself with no party or in private chat. And people did not talk to me for a month because I wouldn't join parties, and people were wondering, like, what the hell game is that he's playing? Because Demon's Souls was on the PS3, and there was nothing on the Xbox, but then they came out with Dark Souls, and still many people didn't even know about the game. So my friend ended up getting in. He got stuck. You know who you are. But he ended up quitting it because it got stuck on the Moonlight Butterfly. I told him to power through it, but I think he went back on, I think like a month later or so. And pretty much me and this person and a couple other people were Dark Souls fanatics from there on out. And I can honestly say, like, us four, I'm not really going to name the names, but us four have not, you know, we haven't been bad at Dark Souls ever since. We've honestly are pros at this point. And I'm trying to get Judge into it. And Judge, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm throwing you under the bus. But I'm trying to get Judge into it because he played Dark Souls 3, has not beat it yet. And I told him, you gotta beat the game. You can't just quit. And he hasn't played it since. But I'm gonna get him around to it and actually beat the game. Because when you beat a Dark Souls, it feels good. But the thing is, he didn't beat Dark Souls 3. I told him, go to Dark Souls 1 and see if you can beat that. Because Dark Souls 1 is the hardest out of the 3 in my opinion. They made Dark Souls 3 purposely easier for newcomers. Dark Souls 2 was just, it's harder than Dark Souls 3 but easier than Dark Souls 2. I mean Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 1 is just the pinnacle of difficulty, and it's the reason why people says, man, this is Dark Souls level hard. And that's exactly why it started off like that, because it is honestly, the game is difficult when you first play it, but anyone can become good at it. But yeah, that's my story with Dark Souls. And it will be awkward if a week from now it's a different game that actually ended up winning. I'm gonna look at this video and be like, well, this is dumb. You know, I wouldn't expect that. I don't expect it right now. Like, if it actually happens, I will be dumbfounded. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to Dark Souls as a Let's Play. And if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.